for it to
and
reaching.
it's possible I threw
I
everything
see
out.
it
It's possible I can
right
produce a
here.
copy. Gotcha. It's possible. I'm not sure. Now, how does this lead to war Donald Trump? Okay. The Mercedes family, Ben Mercedes, that works with Mark
Make it
Garibus.
fat, make
Mark
it double.
Garibus used to be
That's
Michael
crazy.
Jackson attorney.
Yeah, out in Los Angeles.
Yeah. He had he drugged Michael and they OD'd him, okay? He didn't overdose. They OD'd him because they keep the royalties of the music. Michael alone made $860 million alone last year, okay, in 2017, which who keeps that royalty? The music companies.
Yeah, no, I know we covered this already. I'm trying to see. So Radar Online is saying they have a source. They're not saying it's this guy. It appears it might be this guy, but I don't think the guy ever said he got $6 million, which Radar Online claims. Let's see if he says it.
Who represents the media and entertainment in the United States? Most of them, Mercedes stars. Kenny Mercedes, which is Greenwood Mercedes Shire out of New York. Okay? So what they've been doing is they've been promoting a hate agenda against Trump. So people hate him. Okay? Because they know he is very alpha. Okay? Very alpha in the sense that he likes money, he likes to make money, and he likes women, and they know they want to defame in certain ways with Stormy, with other people, because they want him out of the government. Okay, but it ain't happening. It's too smart for them. You understand what I'm saying?
Trust me, it's easy. It's like eating a popsicle. It's like
We
buying
have
a
a,
shoe.
he's not
Easy as
seeing
buying
that
shoes.
each and every American,
Point
like
I'm
Joe
trying to prove.
Obama, who knows his real name, they say, well,
It's still in the
it was
root.
a creation
It's
of the
not even loose.
CIA, and then people
You love
listen
your
to your
son.
lyrics and everything, and then you become famous. Okay, that's how they do it, alright? Tupac's still alive.
Okay. You see, sometimes we be listening to the shit that make our whatever narrative we want to go.
Not in the mood.
Seems like you always run out of something right before a trip. Like that SPF moisturizer that you can't sun without. DoorDash has all the beauty products you need ready to go.
Fuck that, I'm leaking the broom.
Is it?
Stubborn ass. Such a stubborn ass.
He's in
Like
Cuba.
y'all fucking love
He's in
y'all.
Cuba.
Stubborn ass.
Basically, what happens is the
Come over
following.
here.
The hip-hop agenda is
Make you
an
hate.
agenda
This
to
is NASCAR
promote
love. We
the
driving
United
Miss
States.
Daisy.
You need to vote
Like we driving Miss Daisy.
the Shaw, okay? And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land all the
You
contracts.
say don't call you a
It's his
bitch, but you
attorneys.
bitching.
Okay. All right. So we kind of played that already. So I'm not sure if this is talking about them. And I don't know if Radar Online doesn't seem like it's vouching for the 6 million. It's saying 6 million, but it doesn't say we have corroborated or we've seen the details of the document, even if they're not saying the name. Okay. Alright. So we hear about that $6 million thing. And then we hear about another thing. And this is from Radar Online. Right? Actually, I guess both are from Radar Online. Yeah, both are from Radar Online. It says, two shameless A-list Diddy pals who once lived and partied with the disgraced mogul infected innocent women with herpes. Now, they don't name the people, but it said two of Diddy's pals had rigorous and unprotected sex with at least three women without disclosing they were stricken with the sexually transmitted disease herpes, leaving one so sick she was hospitalized. That was the bombshell finding of an exclusive Radar Online probe dismantling a tangled web of A-list sleazeballs connected to Combs, including one high-profile friend who even settled a $1 million lawsuit after infecting a sex partner with incurable virus. The hitmaker, who is one of the jailed rapper's closest allies, at one point even lived with him, exposed an innocent victim to herpes around 2009, documents obtained by this website reveal. Both award-winning megastars have boasted about attending the Bad Boy Records founders' parties, which federal prosecutors and witnesses have said devolved into sex orgies with freak offs at mansions or in hotel rooms guarded with heavy security. They also involved heavy drug use, gallons of alcohol, and large quantities of baby oil and lubricant, it has been alleged. As part of this investigation, Radar Online obtained two previously filed lawsuits, one between a British-born star who got his start in the music as a teenager, and the other, a musician turned television famous face and his stylist. What? The celebrity was first exposed to herpes in 2009, legal papers showed. In a disgusting revelation contained documents of a greenish discharge once oozed from the performer's penis. What the fuck? Who at one point tried to calm his victim by telling doctors had labeled him an asymptomatic carrier. The male star later convinced his illicit lover an STD examination result was negative, and the pair continued to engage in unprotected sex. Believing the celebrity statements that it had been nothing and cleared up, she continued the relationship. Their romps went without a hitch until 3 weeks after a passionate hookup when the victim, whose identity is being withheld, woke up feeling very sick with a fever of 100 degrees, chills, headaches, and aches and pains. She also developed lesions and blisters in her vagina and was so terrified she sought treatment at an urgent care hospital, where a doctor promptly diagnosed her with herpes. According to the singer, or the doctor and the singer,
Where you
who
get these
sued them,
motherfucking pill from?
Papa Bear, in their messages, posted a check covering the medical bills totaling $2,754.40. The legal complaint was filed at the Superior Court in LA, where the law requires
How did he get that,
a
bro?
person who knows or should know that they are infected with genital herpes to avoid sexual contact with an uninfected person or to warn potential partners before sexual contact. In court, the hitmaker was accused of consciously and purposely withholding his diagnosis from the woman.
Oh, he was open
continued
too.
to have unprotected sex.
What?
So someone was called Papa Bear. What was Papa Bear? It was also revealed, after his partner confronted him for infecting her, the sex team called her 2 days later with his doctor, who grimly confirmed he carries the herpes virus. Their test result confirmed a first-time infection. A file in their settlement obtained by Radar read, in a series of telephone conversations and online chat sessions, the singer has apologized for infecting her and told her he would take care of things. In the declaration, the victim said that her health and her body had been ruined, and she has suffered severe emotional distress and been extremely depressed, knowing there's no cure. The Diddy pal eventually settled with his paramour in December 2012, paying $1.1 million in damages. But his conduct didn't end there. In the second case, the same friend
Ah, fuck. I thought he was fucking.
of the jailed musician had a extramarital romp with a woman who was remarkably, at the time, a friend of his current wife. Fuck. She alleged the pair hooked up in 2017 in Atlanta behind the wife's back, where she performed oral sex before having intercourse without protection. The court filing, they had sex 12 days later in the New Orleans hotel room. They used a condom. Like this sleaze merchant. Damn. The British-born friend of Diddy, who attended one of the first infamous party as a fresh-faced teenager, avoided public embarrassment with a secret payoff to silence his accuser. Okay. I wonder who these people are. Somebody says Usher.
First thing first, I pop a pill.
His was
After that, I
dismissed
got the
in
show.
2019. Did this say 2019?
It's like
Yes,
you
we're
getting
guessing
super
games.
real. No need no like, am I too high? Like you make me.
I don't know if that's Usher, to be honest. Nah.
I
See,
need
this
to
gotta
like,
be somebody else.
am I too high?
Somebody with enough money to pay 1.1 million dollars. What the
Oh
fuck?
no, you know, give me them both. I'm out with a
Oh.
dimmy mounted for Vogue.
They also mentioned somebody British.
It's so slow. I got it though.
Interesting. Yeah, we don't know if it's Usher. Somebody said it was Russell Brand. Somebody said 21 Savage. Stop it.
Oh, too early. Oh, I was on right on. Damn.
Someone told me who it was.
That's a good block.
People were alleging that it was Usher, but the dates don't match up with Usher, honestly. It doesn't match up with Usher. And then, hold on. And then the male that a lot of people were saying it was, which, let's see. Someone was saying allegedly it could have been.
How the bro? Oh my god!
Is he from the UK?
That shit is so dumb. I hate that he can make that.
That doesn't make sense. Does he know Diddy?
Oh.
From declining a record deal to rival parties.
Let's see how heaven tastes.
I don't know if it's him.
Living rooms for heaven's sake.
I mean, who gives a fuck, right?
Like a fidget. I just put some bands on down.
But at least we get to realize, you go to a Diddy party, you probably bought some shit, bro.
Wait until you take one.
I was 17 years old.
Oh,
So these were all
goodness.
aspirations.
You know, you're trying to kind of change things in your life. Are you still currently celibate, and how's that been going?
When I did the first album, Born to Do It, I was 17 years old.
Oh,
So these were all
goodness.
aspirations. It's crazy, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, I just want to, what would it be like just to really just, not even lock in for work, not to kind of like, oh, we're doing this for any reason, but what would it be like just not be, oh,
Okay. Interesting. Never really heard that.
Until I find
Alright,
her.
whatever. Okay, so there's more allegations that they're saying some other stuff going on. Then guess what happens?
How did I fucking miss that?
Now we're seeing some names. Rolling Stones. They run an
Shit is
article
so
by
surreal.
saying
Jersey
that
Drake, you better enjoy it.
there is a name being named in the Diddy situation.
The only sign of struggling is coming from those guys. He gonna make that.
stay as low as possible. Take the shot if you got it. 3, 2, 1.
What? I'll come back and tell you how that feels. Pain in my. That was a good pass.
This Liza Gardner with singer-songwriter Aaron Hall when she was 16 in 1990. The lawsuit has now added Jodeci member Devontae Swing as a co-defendant. Now, here's the thing.
Champagne
So,
poetry.
basically, I think they were saying it was Aaron Hall and Diddy. But I think even this guy who's now being named Devontae Swing, I don't even think they claim she's done anything. I think they said that he allowed it to happen.
I mean,
watched or something.
and above me, I
The
said nobody.
complaint filed by
I had to be
Gardner,
dead for you to
and by
say
the way,
that you
could
took
tell,
it from me,
amended
that
complaint
20%
means
that you can go with your Tootsie's money.
they probably went to Devontae Swing and said, "Yo, give us $100,000. We won't let you know." He probably said no, and they amended the original lawsuit to just include the nigga's name, right? Like, Jesus Christ. In the amended complaint filed by Liza Gardner's attorneys and obtained by Rolling Stone, it says that Swing, born Donald DeGrasse, was present during the assault. According to the magazine, the complaint reads, unbeknownst to Ms. Gardner at the time, the defendant Swing was in the room when this assault took place and did not take any steps to prevent the abuse from occurring. So that's odd. Like, it doesn't say he took part, but he was in the room and he didn't stop it. In May, a woman submitted a sworn statement in the case claiming that she was a fellow minor with Gardner that night and saw Swing leaning against the wall or furniture or something, watching whatever Puff was doing. In a new filing, she alleges Swing was 20 or 21 years at the time. He's accused of aiding and abetting the alleged abuse. So he's not accused of doing anything. He's accused of allowing this to happen without putting a stop to it. Wow. Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. So there's more detail here. He served as Gardner's co-guardian at the time because he invited her on the trip to the New York area with a group of her friends. They were staying with him in New Jersey at a house.
And if money's all I need in my grave, then bury me now. That's not facts.
The MCA subsidiary Uptown Records, where Combs is working as an A&R executive, the lawsuit claims Swing had a duty to protect the child as her parents entrusted him with her safety. He trafficked and or coerced the child to travel across state lines from North Carolina to New Jersey to New York, New Jersey, with the hidden intention of providing the child with alcohol and marijuana and prostituting the child to his A&R Combs. Swing is now one of the lawsuit's defendants in causes of action alleging negligent infliction of emotional distress and the violation of the Mann Act, which includes a claim for transportation of a minor with intent to engage in illegal sexual activity. Okay. So they've added someone else. Take care. Okay. This Diddy stuff keeps going further and further, don't it? Okay. I think we did read this one. Yeah, I didn't bother.
This the part where I'm gonna find a new part of me to explore.
Yeah, I think that's enough on Tuesday.
That shit is not going, buddy. That shit is not going.
Oh, the last thing.
That is Ryan Dunn, my guy.
Is his health. So apparently Diddy showed up.
That shit is not
and
going.
He was looking emaciated. He was looking very skinny. He was looking meager. He was looking like he lost a few pounds. And that prompted people to speculate, is the boy eating in jail or is he starving himself? And some people have came to the conclusion to say, well, actually his team has denied that it's because of him being locked up. They're claiming he lost weight before his arrest, okay? Because Sean Diddy Combs isn't as puffy these days. And it's not because he changed his name from Puffy to Diddy. He shed a few pounds, and it's not a result of his time behind bars. I actually disagree with that. It definitely is. Said Diddy was looking thinner during his court appearance on Thursday, and his face looked skinnier, leading a lot of folks to speculate he hasn't been eating in jail. A lot thought maybe the criminal case was finally getting to him. However, sources familiar with the situation tell TMZ that he lost the weight before he was arrested by the feds, and it's a result of healthy living. Now, that could be true, too. Even though I don't believe that, it could be true. He's probably having to be off drugs. I could imagine if I was in a place that I didn't drink alcohol every fucking day for, maybe a month, you guys would probably see, another, extra 20 pounds of weight get off of me. Like I think when I drink, my face just like I have a chipmunk effect naturally. So when I drink, like my face gets puffy. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, maybe he's not on whatever drugs he was taking. Apparently, he was on a lot of drugs, and it's kind of interesting because I never looked at Diddy as like a drug addict. But
Fuck you.
apparently, he was. He was a functioning drug addict. Which, by the way, there are a lot of them in the music industry.
It's
So
time for
it
you to
appears
move
that
on.
he was. He probably looks skinnier, but maybe it's because he's not taking on drugs. Either that, or maybe he's just not feeling the food up in there too. He's probably not asking for seconds and thirds, right? So our sources say that Diddy was exercising to remain in good physical shape. See, I believe that's cap. I think it's either two things: the drugs, the stress, but it's definitely not just Frankly, photos from just before Diddy's arrest in New York.
Don't do it. I told you not to do it. It's Ryan Dunn. He's right there, bro.
I mean, you never seen Diddy like that.
He's everywhere. Just don't do it. It's just not smart.
It's
just not a smart thing to do.
It looks like they're trying to paint a picture, literally, of him being quite skinny. We haven't seen him because
it's just not a smart thing to do, man.
Lastly, before we kind of wrap that up, Law and Crimes was on the scene, and hold on.
It's been nearly long time golf and much of
but we
the dude is everywhere, man.
Did improve on many areas to include sanitation, and more specifically as it relates to our relationships with our stakeholders.
Okay, so this is a former deputy of MDC Brooklyn, the place. So a former deputy warden of MDC Brooklyn. So that's where Diddy's staying. He's kind of giving an update on what probably what his 23 hours inside that jail cell looks like.
More specifically, our public defender's office and the judicial districts of the Eastern District of New York and Brooklyn, as well as our Southern District of New York partners with the U.S. Attorney's offices and the judges' offices. So, but yeah, they've had some significant challenges, but they've also housed some of the most notorious terrorists, drug lords, and other folks who are facing high-level crimes. So again, there have been challenges, and there will continue to be challenges there. But when it comes down to taking care of business and keeping people safe, I will say that they've done a great job of doing that over the years.
Besides the conditions, talking about the safety of people, that's something that P. Diddy's lawyers have highlighted, saying that in the past there have been suicides there, some murders, apparently some corrections officers have been charged criminally. What would you say? Is it a safe place to be for these inmates?
Overall, I would say yes. Throughout the history of corrections and jail operations, there have been suicides and homicides. I will say, as a deputy warden there, I did experience inmate suicide while I was there as acting. Probably, I'm not sure if he has any prior criminal history or any other periods of time incarcerated, which means his movements is restricted. You go from very large mansions where you have staff and personal chefs and, people who work for you are there available to you to get you all the things that you want and desire and need on a day-to-day basis. And then all of a sudden,
I'm never going to make a free throw in, bro.
Movements are restricted.
That's a steal, by the way.
And you're placed in a 6'8" by 8 feet cell, and you're probably going to be secure in that cell 23 hours a day. And then when you do move out, whether it's for medical treatment or recreation time, he's probably going to have 3 staff members with him, and he'll be in handcuffs. So the sheer shock of being in that predicament, and then the charges that he's facing, that could have taken a quick mental toll on him. And when clinicians place someone on suicide watch, whether it's verbal, written, or physical attributes of presenting yourself as suicidal, that individual will be placed on suicide watch. They'll be given a smock to cover their body, a blanket, and depending on their history of
potential suicide risk. If they've had attempts in the past, specifically for hanging, they may or may not be giving undergarments
They are
to
locking
include
my ass up,
underwear and socks. So, so again, it's not unusual for a person to maybe show signs of suicidal ideation, especially when you're facing these type of charges and never having your movements restricted. Especially.
Okay. Really, the video I wanted to play was the update. They were outside court. It was about a long time. They did a fantastic job. Let's see if I can show y'all that.
Sean Diddy, we are going to go live to outside of that federal courthouse because our very own Elizabeth Milner is there from the man himself, Sean Combs.
Yo, they got this shit like a fucking ball. Like, there's so much activity. You know, obviously this is the Southern District U.S. Courthouse, so like they have a lot of big cases currently, but wow.
Yeah, Jesse, it was pretty interesting because I think, you know, Associated Press, through Instagram, and so to see him kind of in person after being in jail for 3 weeks now was pretty interesting, to say the least. And I say that by being that you would expect him to feel a little defeated, a little gaunt, anything like that, but it wasn't that case. He appeared confident, he stood tall, but most importantly and most notably, when he walked inside the courtroom, the first thing that he looked at was his family. As soon as he saw his family, he just lit up. Another thing to note too is he wasn't shackled, but he was wearing a khaki prison-like jumpsuit when he appeared inside court, and his family appeared on their end very just happy to see him. Now, I will say, when I was inside the courtroom, I was a little bit towards the back right side of the gallery, and so for seeing Sean Combs, I had to look through a few heads and stuff like that, but again, he appeared just kind of confident walking inside that courtroom, and it might have just been the look that his family was there. So let me kind of paint a picture for you as well too. His mother arrived a little bit before 1 p.m. Eastern time today, and then whenever his children actually came into the courtroom or the courthouse actually kind of got silent. It was pretty interesting to see that as well too. So as far as who was sitting by who, you had Janice Combs, who sat by Justin, then it was followed by Chance, the twins, Jesse and Delilah, Quincy, and then Christian Combs, aka King. And so again, once they all saw their father, they all smiled at him, waved at him, and even when we were all leaving the courthouse today, Diddy just blew kisses at his mother and his family members. They didn't say much of anything. I wasn't outside when they had first entered the courthouse, so I'm not sure if they said anything to the press. Previously, they had been very quiet whenever they had entered the courtroom, so I assume it'll be kind of like that as well too. But it was interesting as well that a lot of the arguments kind of based around the data that was recovered and seized from the homes. So while a lot of us were kind of expecting there to be arguments about the bail or the bond, that really didn't happen, and the judge ordered that the defendant, Sean Combs, stay inside the MDNC, which we know the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. And so as far as what we know now is that we know May 5th is going to be the date, tentatively, that the trial does begin. So we have a lot of stuff that we're expecting to see, but kind of going back to a little bit of the evidence there. Now, I'm looking through this notebook right here, mainly because we're not allowed to have electronic equipment when we're inside that courtroom, so all of this was handwritten notes. So just kind of going over just some of the things that were happening inside that courtroom, you know, I'm sure you have already talked about it there, as far as just all the data that prosecutors and now have in connection to the case. So 96 electronic devices were seized across 3 different locations. That included Diddy's Miami home, his LA mansion, as well as all the devices that were seized whenever he went to the airport, because as we all remember...
By the way, I see some people were like, yo, there were VHS tapes. And I'm like, bro, if a nigga got a whack off, have y'all ever like, y'all used to have a VHS player back in the day, man. Rewinding that bitch take a while, nigga. Sometimes it's not chaptered out. You can't go to chapters. Like, you can't just move the mouse and go from, like, 48 minutes to like 3 minutes. So if Diddy was that committed to keeping all this type of data or these videos from like the 90s or whatever he was having them freak offs, he would just put it like fuck. Even if we put it on a DVD,
I was early.
or nigga just get it into digital video format. Turn it into a .mov or a .mp4. Like, what the fuck? You're not gonna just be like walking around like, oh shit. Remember that one time I had that motherfucking freak off with, like, I don't know who was dating back then.
Oh, what am I doing, bro?
Nah, nigga, I would think you would at least have them transcribed.
I'm giving up like 10 points doing that shit, bro.
Happened. He was actually boarding a flight with his twin daughter.
Somebody said a VHS tape unhackable. But, bruh, I don't know how y'all niggas watch porn now. Nigga, I be having 96 tabs open, nigga. You can't have 96 VHS tapes going, nigga. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, we modern now. So that's why I would be thinking he would get the old footage just put into new formats that, yeah, you know?
Daughters
and you don't want to have like a bunch of like VHS tapes. Like, come on, bro.
Including, and I believe Chance was there as well too, his 18-year-old daughter now. When they were, the search warrants were happening and Diddy was caught up at the airport, they did seize different devices that time as well too. And so the data mainly still has to be extracted. Now, the government was kind of talking about just some of the devices are a little bit older, so the government in turn is kind of catching up to the technology there. But they say at the airport they seized 9 different devices. 7 of those have been extracted so far. At Miami, 36 different devices were seized, 29 were extracted, and in LA, 51 devices were seized, 24 have been extracted, excuse me. They say the 8 terabytes of data, that information could come about in the next 2 weeks or so, and they're working on the production, another production of the subpoena returns. And so the defense pretty much didn't object to too much inside the courtroom today. Agnifilo also appeared kind of confident during his arguments. I know a lot of people were kind of expecting for the bail or bond argument to be happening, but that didn't happen, and it appeared that the defense kind of, you know, excuse me, I'm trying to find the right word here, but they were pretty much complying with all the prosecution's arguments and plan to kind of have everything all good and set to go by May. Now, by the time the end of the year is to happen, I forgot like one big turn right here. They did mention that a potential superseding indictment could come.
Sometimes
I'm about to spam
the greatest technology
Jokic can't guard that. He can't guard
like
it.
technology.
He just can't.
It becomes an extension of your thoughts, tuned in to the finest movements, perfectly blending to your form. Inspired by the hands of those who
they're gonna score off this. I know they are.
This is more than a mouse.
I just knew it. I just know, bro. I just fucking know, bro. Holy shit, this game is... How am I missing that?
All right.
Oh shit.
Hey, where the fuck is this thing?
I'm gonna pass that to Tyus. Just don't touch me.
This person's page is like... Anyway. Wait, why can't I find something too? But I ain't gonna lie, man. The industry right now is in shambles. A lot of shit going on. It's gonna be up to us. Well, not really up to us, but
I don't know why this
a lot
shit,
of these
bro.
things aren't. There might be frivolous cases that come out of it, but we're not gonna see everybody get indicted this and third. So it's kind of up to you. It's like, do you believe some of this shit, or do you think some of this shit is just cloud chasing or money chasing? while we get into some of the Jay-Z stuff, we're not going to do too much. We're going to kind of talk about the Jaguar Wright stuff, or the Jaguar Wright Piers Morgan situation that kind of mentioned Jay-Z. Liz Crockett, okay, this Caucasian woman right here, she says in 2011 I was a reporter. I was the reporter. Jay-Z's alleged mistress, Kathy White, was going to be an interview with her public with her story. A few days later, she was found dead. I've said for years I believe she was murdered and Jay-Z was involved. Watch my episode here. Let's see this.
To me on the record, which implied to me, obviously, that if she was willing to tell her story about Jay-Z, that it was indeed true that she was having an affair with him. So that was pretty much it. That was the last time that I talked to her, and I was, under the impression that she was very strongly considering talking to me and telling me her story.
That's how it started, y'all.
Her affair with Jay-Z. So a few days go by, and I'm following up with her. I'm calling her, and I can't get hold of her. And I believe that this went on for a few days. And it was just really weird because she always answered her work phone. I thought it was really strange that she wasn't answering her phone. She was MIA. I didn't know what
No, I'm not shooting that, bro.
So I ended up reaching out to one of her colleagues. And when I finally got hold of one of her colleagues, they told me that she's dead. And I said, what? And she said, yes, she's dead. And I said, well, what do you mean she's dead? What happened to her? This is just a beautiful, young,
y'all move, bro.
Seemingly healthy 28-year-old woman. I was told that she didn't have any health issues, and it was very shocking to hear. And her...
She's gonna be the...
Oh my God. I've never got...
colleague did not know.
I just got called for 5 seconds back to the basket. Are you fucking serious?
All she knew is that she was dead. So obviously, when I heard this, it was very troublesome and disturbing to find out that this woman who possibly
She dropped a whole documentary on this.
Thanks a lot, guys. With Mike Malone, as the second half approaches, Coach, what are you looking for?
Execution, pace, and purpose with everything that we do, and making sure that when we call a set, we know what we're trying to accomplish, and get the ball to where our players can be effective.
While I was going live, I see now real life production. My bad, I was saying it wrong. Yo, is it Real Life Street Stars? I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. Anyway, they were premiering an interview with Jaguar Wright and Orlando Brown. Now, watching any content with Jaguar Wright and Orlando Brown, first and foremost, let me ask y'all a question. And I'm asking these questions more of a precursor into us even playing any part of this video and analyzing this on a serious level. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that Jaguar Wright is mentally well?
Jersey Mike's freshly slices it right in front of you. You can't fake that. You can fake my...
On a scale of 1 to 10.
And I used to.
How... Because I've noticed one thing about the industry. When some people don't get what they've yearned for, they worked hard for, they feel the industry fucked them over, turned their backs on them. They become bitter. They become bitter to not only the system of the industry, but the people and the roles and the circumstances that resulted in that. And I was listening to, and I'll play the audio, I was listening to Jaguar Wright talk about some stuff, and she was just like, fuck that bitch Jay-Z, he owes me $25 million and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa. I was like, felt deep-seated. Then at one point, she brings up that Jay-Z, I don't know if her son passed away or something, but
you gotta move your feet, yo.
And I was like,
1v1
It might be that she's blamed a lot of her misfortune, and she said, yeah, the best thing of Jay-Z's career was that Unplugged concert that I was a part of, that he hated on. And I was like,
did it?
I'm analyzing them slightly different to say, is she a little bit bitter and resentful because her career didn't turn out how she probably hoped it would. Now, two things could be true. She could be bitter and telling the truth. I don't know. So I don't want to. Nothing I'm saying is trying to discredit her. It's more of saying we got to look at the bigger picture. Now, let me then ask you about Orlando Brown. You think, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that Orlando Brown is mentally well?
I mean, what else I got to do? You feel me? Oh yeah.
Now, while you answer that, I've spoken to people about Orlando Brown. Ooh, you know what they've said about Orlando Brown? Now, Orlando Brown is actually not mentally ill at all.
Back around.
They actually feel that drug use. They feel he's a drug addict, but they don't feel that he's mentally ill. They feel that the drugs will have him appearing to be so, but they actually feel that
is just so
he is a smart individual who at some times know how to play the character that evokes certain reactions. And yes, is he maybe a little bit disgruntled about how his career turned out? Yes, but he understands in the realm of entertainment. You know, I think even Jaguar Wright said it. He's playing a character. Like he gets booked for several thousands for interviews, and they want the Orlando Brown that says whatever. I don't know. You have to be the judge. I think this video is finished.
I wanna make love to you. Love to you. Hey, hold on. Baby, there ain't really much to say. Baby, there ain't really I wanna make love to say. Love to you. Oh, think about you every single day.
I'll give Jaguar Wright this though. That boy still do be sounding good. I'll give you that.
Love to you, body.
I ain't gonna lie. If I pulled up to a stoplight and I saw Jaguar Wright and Orlando Brown right there, and they're singing this beautiful medley, this beautiful duet, shit, I don't even think I would give him a spare change out of my car. I'd probably be like, yo, tell me y'all got like square. Y'all got something I can swipe? Just take 100. It sounds good. It sounds good.
Baby, won't you do me naughty? 'Cause I love it when you do me that way, yeah. And when I come say, ooh, got my head all screwed. Look at these.
She's pretty good at doing background vocals too. Yeah, this is like impromptu. She's putting in. This all Jay-Z had to do to get her to stop talking that shit. See, Jay, Orlando Brown gonna teach you a thing or two now. All you had to do was this. Acknowledge her, nigga.
You know, real life. Cycling the mileage with your feet.
Okay, well, we're gonna skip to either about Diddy or Jay-Z. Let's see.
Watching and you stay out of this room, you stay out of that room. That's me. There is no comparison. There's only Jesus and Mary Magdalene.
Got it. So question. If I were to challenge you right now, artist to artist, and I sang something, because you ended.
Ooh, look at the expression.
Oh my goodness.
You know, what I find most interesting is that nobody is watching the evolution of a crab, a soft shell crab, jumping from one skeleton to the next.
Yeah, but you know, Reby never wanted this for the Jackson family. You know, my mother, you know, Catherine, never ever. I wouldn't ever like, oh my God! Wow, they're not worried about your pussy.
Wow.
It was like 100,000 people out there not worrying about his pussy.
You want to know what's interesting?
But
what's interesting about Usher.
But no, listen, let me finish. If they
nobody liked him.
Now, listen to me. Now, this is what's funny. Now, those same 100,000 people that was in the audience, if I would have jumped on stage and said, now, name Kevin Gates.
Like, how am I missing these wide? I'm not missing 2 in a row, bro. You got me fucked up. I'm not missing 3 in a row, bro. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. You think I'm missing 3? 3 in a row? You
This
got me
works by
fucked
inserting our
up.
bump key into the lock with a rebound ring. Apply slight turning
Put your
force
pretty
and then
little
strike the key, which causes
hand
the lock to open using kinetic energy.
down
Just
to
like
the
that, the
wire,
lock is
baby.
open. Now add a
Even
ZDG bump key set to your
Durant.
EDC and ensure you have the best tool for the job.
Why would you switch?
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Fine then, nigga. So
Okay.
then, all right, cool, right?
Right.
So then now we out here and we in Arizona, and I'm like, all
What
right,
part?
well, we in Mesa, we in
baby.
Well, I'm Orlando. Okay, and he's now Jaguar.
Oh, it's such a short thing.
I swear to God, he was like, I ain't never. And Houston, it's a day.
Like how you
What the
feel about being my mom as Whitney Houston? You
Wow.
How do you feel about Tyrese's Coca-Cola commercial?
Love somebody. The problem is when you take an astringent agent like me and you put it into an ecosystem that is imbalanced, everyone is afraid. Everyone. There's a lot of people that want things to stay the same. And the reason why they want it is because that's the only way they're ever going to get it. See, pure talent is pure talent. Pure whore is pure whore. What's the line between the two? Hollywood. Am I wrong?
You're not. I just don't want to disrespect
hell of a drug,
what you're
though.
saying. You're not.
You can't disrespect. You can only go on.
So I have to ask, for those people out there that believe in this thing that exists, is there such thing as a matrix? Are we all embedded in the system? And I don't say this to be. When Jaguar Wright and Orlando Brown.
You know what?
You know what I mean? But
Everything you're talking, spreading all this money around in the streets, but you ain't shredding it around to the right people.
So put her in the first, and then put me in the dope.
Put me at the, put me right here. What they call that? Shotgun.
Oh yeah.
And give it to me appropriately.
Yeah, call it whatever you want to call it.
All right. Well, with that being said,
Anyway,
Jaguar Wright.
You got me in my feelings.
Yeah. Talk.
See, because you talking about Curtis. Me and Curtis got issues.
What's up with that? Come on, you ain't.
Curtis has to get me a new cap. You know, me and Curtis got issues.
You ain't got no issues.
He down in Shreveport acting a fool. But I ain't gonna put you in there.
In Shreveport doing what?
Acting a fool.
I can't know nothing about that. I'm trying to be the actor and trying to get us
and guess what? And guess what? I'm gonna tell you something right now. Millennium
50,
Studios is open.
50 Cent, I don't know nothing about
I know everything about Shreveport.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about no Shreveport.
Hands up.
About to buy
Hands
you
up.
in the show. She know everything
What are you
about
doing,
that.
book?
Yes, I do.
I don't know nothing about no Shreveport. I got 5 kids.
It's called Power.
She can know, it's called, She can know all about Shreveport.
It's called Power.
Y'all see this chat?
My son died because he was my son.
He died because of
He was targeted because he was my son. He was working on his EP. I bought Philadelphia for him so he didn't have to sign to a company because I knew what it was going to do. He interned at Rock Nation. And they approached him to sacrifice me. I saw his death when he was 19. I moved us here to stop it, to prevent it, to avoid it. They take them anyway to show you what the harm is. Giovanni, his death is why I do what I do. My son died because he was my son.
He died because of
He was targeted because he was my son. He was about.
Now, she wasn't done. She went on to claim
that Jay-Z owed her $25 million.
Oh, I was gonna go.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yo.
And for her.
Oh, fuck. Good shit, Katie.
It's been so much on her recently. It's hard to keep up with.
When
However,
I met you,
she was called out.
Good shot, good shot, good shot, good shot. It hurt.
Better, faster, cheaper. Everybody knows you can only pick two. That's the way it's always been.
Listen, shit.
I mean, I'm there. I don't know how much there you want me to be.
Oh, is this a?
He's gonna start raining.
I'm
not doing that shit again, bro.
Get away with it are because so many black people have co-signed him. Long ago when the feds ran up Boosie's house, he blamed Vlad for it. And then all of a sudden, everything's okay again. And now him and Vlad are...
How deep those ties go.
I don't know why I'm missing those, bro, but... Too late. But they keep running this trash ass play. If I could die before I wake, chance we took my breath away. It's like living in the... Oh wow, bro. Oh, he missed it. Right past you.
So Kaya decided to address her. I hope these people get some strings.
Bro, why the fuck?
Jaguar can't get right. You know the people is roasting you. What the hell you doing on the Cracker Show? Child, this is a dumb bitch alert. Jaguar can't get right. Jaguar, you know what? You want to be so smart and act so dumb. Jaguar. You really should have went up there and beat CJ Glenn ass. He is not for the people. I don't know why you niggas keep going on there with the Cracker Show acting like you love y'all, like y'all appreciate y'all. Any nigga that go on Valan's show is tied and through, and we, the people, don't fuck with you. Just like that Cracker don't fuck with us. He is not for the people. How you think you gonna know everything but didn't know that Jaguar can't get right? The person you should have been roasted was for that. And goddamn that other Cracker. Where you from? England, London? Cracker's platforms face the fuck out looking like you just hit that shit. You know you're not well enough to be speaking for the people. This is the case of mind blown and gone. Let's talk about it all. People versus Jaguar, I don't know how to get right or be right. Jaguar. This case shot delayed ass is being charged for being a dummy bitch. Jaguar joined the title through interview with a saltine Cracker who doesn't like black people talking about the same bullshit that's half truth, half false, half batshit crazy like your motherfucking ass. Actually really believe in your own lies and stories after all these fucking years that only sound good to you in your motherfucking head because we sick and we tired of to keep regurgitating all this tired ass tea that's been told over and over again. Get drugged and fucked at the parties and your mind ain't came back. Now you're here. Gaggle, you still talking about it. Be a big man because after you were used and abused, Gaggle, you were no longer invited to the motherfucking party. Doing anything to stay relevant and get a coin and you still broken in the motherfucking slipping you all. Calling your son and Woody Woodpecker because you ain't got no fucking coin or a dollar in and he told you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Gaggle, in that old not telling Pierce Morgan, fuck you, Gaggle, from you and Megan and Harry. Gaggle, that's what you should have said. lad gave 2 fucks about you when he don't gag or he can't stand niggas at all, for real, for real. I don't know why y'all keep going and running to his platform like the slave ass niggas running a master gag. So you's a dummy bitch and you can go straight to motherfucking hell because we already know you was at the parties and got drugged and your mind ain't never came back to here and you want to tell what happened, but you ain't been invited in a long time and we don't want a motherfucking head Jaguar can't get right. You slick, slow, crazy ass motherfucking bitch. You stay out of order. Let's talk about it. Word on the curve, Jaguar can't get right. We spotted out here in these streets looking and sounding the whole fucking food on some saltine crackers platform, and the people not gagging. And we said, what the fuck you doing up there, Jaguar? You do not represent the people, speak for the people, and if you don't go take your medications and get in that padded room and locked in that chair, you better. I might still interview Shamar or Orlando Brown. Child, you need to tell me out of all the interviews you could have done, you decided to go on Piers Morgan. What the nigga name of Crocker who doesn't like black folks, but your ass is talking to him like you know all the motherfucking tea and you want to respect Master. Thank you for having me, girl. No, ma'am. Chop, boo, bye. Gag order. Wasn't you the one who was crying a few years ago, hollering about Clive Davis was out to kill you, bitch, and didn't have people to split your tires? But your bald-headed ass is out here in these streets still alive with all that bullshit you've been saying and doing all these years with some truth and 90% of it is motherfucking lies because ain't nobody trying to kill you because everybody know that your brain is mush, you falling and you can't get up. I guess all that baby oil cocaine got you still crazy, and more motherfucking crazy. Now, where was the story about you getting sexually assaulted, drugged, beat, and, dragged all through the parties? Do you have any video evidence? Child, boom, is what we the people say. The Illuminati say, bitch, you didn't even sell enough records to be invited to any elite party, so you don't know none of us. Gag on it, and if you was there, you were only there serving drinks. Gag on it, and it was out the front door. You read him, you motherfucker. They say you weren't never pretty enough to want to do no threesomes.
Wow, bro. Like, what?
Oh, and behold, say if she's a monster, you're a gargoyle, bitch, and a fucking peasant, and she don't give a fuck about you. Who the fuck are you? Fuck you, bitch. Child, Jay said if you don't suck another sick dick, you better and leave him the fuck alone. He got the feds to worry about. Bitch, if Diddy didn't get the feds to knock on his door to ask questions, it would have been off with your motherfucking big ass
head.
He blows. Off with your head, let you tell it. Child, ain't nobody.
All right. Hold on. This is what I was looking for. And this is what I asked you about.
Where's the money going to, Jack, for title?
What do you mean he's pocketing it? He's been pocketing. That puts me $25 million over the course of the past 20 years. Sean Carter owes me $25 million.
Wow. And the simple fact that he keeps slumping the greatest career performance that he's ever had, which is Jay-Z Unplugged, which would not have been what it is without me.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2. Earlier this month, I had the pleasure.
So she'll stand by him as closely as she can, but she don't want to do that because she an accomplice, see? She accomplished all these niggas shit.
Someone put that in my chat, and I was all like, I don't know. What? Well, one thing about the moving on from the tape, I do want to say this. So you're not thinking about like, oh, well, I need to make sure they can
do. They starve you out.
Then I just smile.
Which is why I stopped releasing my music that I've been making consistently now for the past decade and keeping it in my private catalog only to be released on my streaming site. Because see, the shit that I gotta deal with, like that paperwork where my ex-husband forged my signature to give title, the rights to stream my music behind my back.
Your music is on Tidal?
Yes, 2/3 of my catalog is on Tidal.
Whoa! See, I only have Spotify. I'd never looked at Tidal before. But Tidal is supposed to give you, and that's the thing about Jay-Z that I find hypocritical, because Tidal is supposed to give like artists
greatest career performance that he's ever had, which is Jay-Z Unplugged, which would not have been what it is without me. The simple fact that they made sure that once my ex-husband brought my wardrobe so that I could perform, that they went and had a stylist go and damn near get the exact same outfit as me to put on that fucking style. Mary J. Blige, so that they could pretend that she was the one singing it unless I bowed down to him. Yo, these motherfuckers is wild, yo.
Wow. So how do you know that your ex-husband is not getting the royalties?
No, he's not getting it. Because if he was getting it, trust me, he would be gloating. What he gets is his Illuminati payment. You know, Jay-Z paid for his heart surgery that he had 2 years ago when he threw my son out in the street and said he couldn't afford to take him because his doctor bills were so high.
So you're saying that Sam is working with Rock Nation?
I'm telling you, we both took the blood oath. And he was paid to be my husband, so no one would know who I was really involved with.
Oh, wow. So are you saying that you've been in the Illuminati ritual?
I'm admitting it now for the first time.
This shit is hard, bro. Like.
And so did my first husband.
Whoa.
And I left.
That's why it ain't never been right since. Because you left it. You don't leave anything like that.
I did.
And this game doesn't do what I tell it to do, bro. Like,
after I found out
like,
what actually
why is it
happened
switching
to
my
Aaliyah,
shit, bro?
there was no way I could stay.
I don't know how to fix that.
Oh my god.
And nobody can guard Russell Westbrook. It's like 2016 again, bro. I don't know what to do, bro.
And I started talking to other victims. I should have never signed that non-disclosure agreement, but I did.
It's getting bad, bro. It's getting bad. It's getting bad.
I'll be honest with
It's
you,
getting
I'll give
bad.
Vlad some credit for this. Vlad said it right. Conspiracy works. And if you're a smaller channel covering facts that other bigger channels have covered, will not get you anywhere. You need to cover an angle. Like, for example, again, when I came up in the game, everybody's covering Drake and Kanye. So I cover Chicago artists and I cover niggas with colored hair that were popping on SoundCloud. That was the lane to get me some relevance. When everyone's talking about these factual situations that we now know, or at least even allegations that are at least merited, well, let's not say merited, but they at least maybe deserve some type of conversation, potentially, because they're now in court, or maybe they went to the police, cool. The mainstream outlets are covering those. You know, every smaller channel just talk about some Illuminati blood oath, everybody sucking everybody's dicks. The reason why this guy made it to the top is because he got his asshole pounded by a 15-inch dildo. Like, you get to realize that conspiracy theories, and by the way, this is where I oftentimes, I look at Orlando Brown, but really more Jaguar, right, than anyone, and I'm like, even if you want to say maybe she's a little bit off the rocker, is she off the rocker or is she smart? We are fascinated, obviously, with this Diddy thing because the main reason we're fascinated by Diddy is because we didn't really know what the hell was going on in the industry. Like,
Bro, I'm famously smooth whiskey from a famously big family. Meet Julia. She rolls with whatever's thrown her way. She's nearly as smooth as a Jameson orange. Must be a Jameson.
Then you get Jaguar Wright, who's just gonna, every single day, I feel like she tells us more and more shit. We're like, what? Now, granted, I think people want to believe her. And that's the thing. And that's what I said about even Diddy. Diddy has given people, he's opened up the realms of possibility to what people are now able to believe. Because we're seeing some non-normal behavior with him. If I told you that that every billionaire has to fuck an animal, would you like be like, nah, that's a lie? Or be like, well, I could see that. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Now here's the thing: if I had a YouTube channel now, well, I do have a YouTube channel. If now my whole mission was to show you pieces of evidence that to get to be a billionaire, you have to fuck an animal. It's almost like a true crime drama at that point. Y'all just keep watching, and I think that's what's happening with Jaguar Wright. So I can't tell if she's kind of off or if she's smart enough to know. As people are fascinated about the unknown in the industry at the top of the top, as long as I keep talking about what happens supposedly at the top of the top, and I keep giving you information because you can't keep saying the same thing. You won't keep getting booked for podcasts. But every time now I come out with, oh, he owes me $1 million. Oh, I took a blood oath. Oh, he kicked out my son. Oh, he got my son killed. He did this. He did that. Shit, the more info she comes out with, the more we're like, really? And then after a while, you start saying so much shit that, again, by the natural order of the land, we don't really penalize you for what doesn't go right. It's like when people talk about aliens. We never be like, nigga, you're lying. Like, that wasn't a fucking alien. Nigga, get your vision fixed. We look at what could prove them right as opposed to what proved them wrong. As long as they're seen right a little bit, we keep watching. As long as Jaguar right. And by the way, she feels vindicated because Diddy got locked up. Now, in reality, her fucking rumors didn't get Diddy locked up. Cassie got Diddy locked up. That's what it is. But she gets to kind of parade in that realm. Anyway, I'll play a little bit more of this, and then we are going to move on.
Them NDAs are crazy. But you know, if anything is illegal, you can speak out.
I missed that. No way,
and
I don't miss that,
speaking
bro.
out has done.
It's caused a lot of chaos. It has.
Now imagine if I told the full truth. Now, imagine if Chris Brown had said, I'm going to quit now because Jay-Z is going to ruin my life forever. Imagine all the great shit that wouldn't have happened.
I don't even get a fucking...
But one of the things I caught her say was that, you know, she's seen people basically being done wrong and just accepting anything, and that's just not what she was into. So she chose to walk away from it.
Got that. She can choose that all she wants. Does that make it right?
Like, he just stepped inside of why.
For any
that's
artist.
her choice. That's her right.
No. Why does that make it right? Listen to what I'm saying. If she's amazing, if she has something to
That's
offer,
gonna fuck me up doing that.
if she's great at what she does, why should that even have to be a choice? See, this is what I talk about when I say cruelty-free artistry. Because everything that she just said is only relevant because cruelty in the arts community.
Okay, all right.
Oh, shit.
I think we could hop off the Diddy train. Well, actually, that was a lot more about Jay-Z. I think we could chill off of that. I do want to say salute to, as much as I've spoken, I don't know if it's necessarily in opposition of Jay-Z. I want to say shout out to Jay-Z. Because you got to stop people who are incentivized by money to play with your name. Now, it also puts people in a really interesting place. If Jay-Z did do some shit to you, come out and say it. But make sure you tell the goddamn truth. Don't come out and play, don't come out and play with it. Because what's happening, especially with the Diddy situation, there's a lot of people playing with it. Pause, no Diddy. They're saying stuff because other people are saying stuff, and other people's experience, most notably Cassie, makes us want to believe them, right? Because like Cassie should see through. So like, shit, believe Cassie, wow, these other people are. You know what I'm saying? So I like what Jay-Z's doing, but it's put up or shut up time. If you are a victim of Jay-Z, if you think you are,
what am I doing, bro?
Why you ain't went to the authorities? Why you ain't filed a lawsuit?
Why did I do that? Just why?
You don't want to hear no interviews from now. Get a lawsuit going on. And even then, you get a lawsuit going on, you know how his lawyers come. You're going to ruin your damn life off of that. So we'll see. Now, I say that without the knowledge of knowing whether maybe lawsuits have popped up and he settled them before he get hurt. Long convoluted thing, we will get to it, but we're not going to have the Me Too stream today. We did that for the first 2 hours. Let's kind of rotate into some other stuff. And
Caswell Massey is a 270-year-old company. We make a really beautiful assortment of fragrances and bath soaps and skincare products for men and women.
The market for fine jewelry has actually changed dramatically in the last several years. So in 2020, only 2% of engagement ring diamonds sold were lab grown. This is according to Angara CEO Inkar Daga. By 2023, though, 50% of engagement ring diamonds were lab-grown in 3 years, which are chemically, optically, physically identical and certified real diamonds by the FTC. Lab-grown now costs 75 to 90% less than a natural diamond, and natural diamond prices are down 35 to 45% in just the last 18 months. It's opening up the market for diamonds to more consumers.
The jewelry industry worldwide is roughly $330 billion in revenue. I think that actually within a decade gets to $1 trillion. So it triples.
What they're doing right now is the equivalent to setting off a fire that's going to continue until the next arbitration phase. Like, think about it. Like, if LeBron and them, say LeBron, KD, Curry, Giannis, like all the big stars said, even if the whole league ain't gonna hold out, we're holding out until there's a new deal. And I don't know if this is the intention, because it still seems natural. Like when Taylor Swift does something like this, she writes a letter. When she was unhappy about the payments for music artists by streaming services, she wrote a letter. She felt that her art was being disrespected. When she didn't like the fact that her parent label, UMG, couldn't come to a deal or a conclusion with TikTok, and she thinks her fans likes hearing her music on TikTok, she spoke up. She's very direct about it. Kendrick and Drake, I don't think they're in cahoots about anything. I think they hate each other. I think if Drake and Kendrick saw each other,
I should have forced him to make that. I knew it. And
I'm gonna be honest with you, it would be well warranted. A nigga who told the world incorrectly that you're a pedophile.
I thought he was at fucking the 3 still, bro. I'm tripping.
And also, if you're a guy who felt that,
if they do that again, bro, he gonna have to make it.
A child molester, and you even said in your song he should die. Well, you should put hands on him, and if he dies, he dies. So to keep it real, I think if Kendrick and Drake saw each other, if they were pussy and did not do anything, I would be very shocked. I think they should fight to the death.
He is. He can't guard that either.
Only one man survive after that. I'm sorry. After those type of words, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I kind of am at the point, even though I think Drake, this is a character flaw of Drake. He's weak in the sense, and weak doesn't mean I think he's a weak person, but he should never forgive Meek. And not meaning that he had to beef with Meek, but when you show that people could stab the knife in your back, turn it around, try to end you, you know what I mean? Shoot you 9 times. You go to the hospital, you got to recover for 3 years. And then you turn around and gave that nigga a gift at his birthday. People look at you as weakness. You know, sometimes forgiveness. You know, I think we got to learn that from 50. Shit, I'll be honest. I've been weak at times, too, when it came to forgiveness. I've forgiven people who I shouldn't have forgiven. And when you get to realize that, people also look at that and be like, yo, this guy's a sucker. You know, we just try to take him out. And as soon as we call a ceasefire, and because some time has passed, he just, like, forgave us. However, I don't think Kendrick wants to squash. And when I mean squash, we're not talking about like they're trying to kill each other actively. Even though I do think if they saw each other personally, they would probably do something to each other.
Oh my!
But they're not trying to kill each other actively. I don't think Kendrick gives a fuck about trying to be friends with Drake. Now I don't think Drake gives a fuck about trying to be friends with him also. But
that's tough.
Would there be an opportunity, maybe in 4 or 5 years?
Oh, I found the right fucking difficulty, bro.
If there's a dope way to do this, where Drake could shock the world,
I don't have to file either,
and reunite with Kendrick on a stage, do I think he would do it? I think it's in his demeanor too. Because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, Gordon, you're gonna have to make
that, buddy. I don't think what's happening to Drake now is worse than what happened to Drake with Meek. Now, granted, obviously somebody calling you a pedophile, like, that's just horrific.
Oh my God, Nurk is so useless. He's so slow and big and sloppy.
There is no proof, like, that this guy actually fucks little children, right? Cool, yeah, it's a little TikTok thing, but there's no proof, right? Like, Meek try to, like, erase him from the lexicon and the history books of rap. What announcing that someone who was a lyricist having a ghostwriter was at that time was your career is done. You could never come back from that. You get what I'm saying? And essentially forgave Meek. So I have to think that maybe it takes time. It takes maybe some conversation in between, and maybe it takes even an apology. But I think if in 6-7 years, Kendrick was like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of was hating. Man, I should have never called you a pedophile, man. My bad, bro. Like, you did help me out a lot, man. Appreciate you. I think Drake might be like, all right, let's do a song. Like, Drake is a forgiving type of nigga. You get what I'm saying? Now, if I'm reading Kendrick's demeanor, he's only told me a few things. He says he's a hateful person. He tells me that he's not like this nigga from the get-go, which means any type of makeup would be...
Fucking foul him. Oh. I bet you won't miss this one.
Like, I'll be like, God damn, why?
Oh my
So you were just rapping a rap. What the fuck? Drake after, because, come on, like, no one's going to really be like, Drake's a pedophile. Like, 6 years later, like, people just, this is going to fade, right? It's kind of like the ghostwriting conversation faded. And at least the ghostwriting conversation had reference tracks to back up. This with Kendrick.
I missed that. What the fuck?
And I think eventually they'll get along. Anyway, I started off this going somewhere, and I was getting to this J. Cole line. And
I found a
was
perfect
saying about
difficulty,
how it's
bro.
not available on all streaming platforms. So essentially, I say Drake and Kendrick, they're not in cahoots. There's no way they're like sending smoke signals saying, nah, just drop on Instagram. We're not going to drop on Apple Music or Spotify. I'm telling you this as a fact. Spotify top dogs who run
something
the
different about you, loving
it. Apple Music, top dogs that run the music, they're mad. They're mad. They don't like
to send it over to David
You know what?
Aldridge, standing by courtside.
This
David.
would bring music.
Thanks, guys. Aaron, big night offensively. What is clicking for everyone right now?
This is a much
moving the ball. I'm moving the ball, man. That's a big part of our offense, making sure the ball doesn't stick and then people making shots.
It was really flowing tonight, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
Take you around
YouTube didn't pay for this.
Yeah, understand.
Instagram doesn't pay at all, really, for this shit. Instagram does have a deal with labels, but their deal essentially is not really a fully streaming deal. It's a content deal. That's a license for content deal. This streaming deal so you gotta imagine Spotify, who's paying out billions to UMG, is saying, yo, dog, we're paying you billions of dollars to have the right to stream your artist catalog. Instagram don't pay you that. Meta don't pay y'all that. Meta pays y'all for a content licensing deal that people could put little sounds, like 30 seconds of a song, on their fucking photo or their video. But people could now go to J. Cole's Instagram and stream the whole song. So, bruh, you're now creating additional competitors when you're not checking that behavior.